Big ups to the Blue Machine and his team from Namibia, and big ups to his manager on his right, Tobias Nestor. Man, he's been doing a lot. He's been putting in work for this guy, Julius Indongo. You know what I mean? Big ups to Julius Indongo and his whole squad from Windhoek, Namibia. And this is a great fight, ladies and gents. This is a great fight, ladies and gents. And look, a lot of people, man, ever since, anytime I mention this fight, what I'm saying, or make a video about this fight, people coming in my comment section talking some nut ass shit saying this isn't the best fight of the year. Well, look, there's 6 belts on the line. This fight is for undisputed. Terrence Crawford versus Julius Indongo. 6 titles on the line. Now, if your favorite fighters ain't fighting for no undisputed, putting titles on the line, then fall the fuck back. This is greatness these guys are chasing right here. Julius Indongo is not afraid of nothing. I mean, the man he's going from back to back to back title situations. You know what I'm saying? Who does that? You know what I mean? Only a man looking for greatness. You know what I mean? You check it. A lot of people they discrediting this guy Julius Indongo, and you know why? You know the number one reason. It's because the man is from Africa. You know what I mean? African fighters are very underrated. African fighters don't get the shine they deserve. You know what I mean? There's a lot of good fighters from Africa. Look at a guy like Richard Comey. Richard Comey arguably should be a world champion right now. Came to the United States, gave that man Robert Easter a tough ass fight, even dropped him, but still couldn't get the decision in a close fight. Was I mad at the decision, Robert Easter winning it? Not so much, because I had the fight 114 to 113, so basically it would have been a draw if it wasn't for the knockdown. You know what I mean? Now, fellas faking on Terrence Indongo. I'm sorry, on Julius Indongo. They talking about who he fought and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And fellas even talking about this man like basically doesn't have a good technique, and they pointing out all the flaws. And these flaws people are making up of Julius Indongo. They're making shit up, you know what I'm saying? Because believe you me, I've watched every single film I could watch on this guy Julius Indongo that's available online, you know what I'm saying? And I think this guy's a formidable opponent, you know what I mean? Everybody talks about they want to see the best fight the best. Well, this is the best fighting the best right here, you know what I mean? And when people say that, man, I take their words with a grain of salt, you know what I mean? You check it, I don't really believe them, because there's a lot of fights out there that people don't want to see, you know what I'm saying, because they want to protect their favorite fighters. Well, I'm not of that cloth, you know what I'm saying? As a man, I don't give a fuck about these boxers at the end of the day, because I don't show favoritism, you know what I mean? I might have my favorite fighters, you know what I'm saying? But all in all, I want to see my favorite fighters get tested and be put in there with the best of the best. And Julius Indongo is one of my favorite fighters, and he's going in there with Terrence Crawford. Like I said, fellas faking on this guy because of where he come from, you know what I mean? A lot of fighters from Africa don't get the credit and the props they deserve. Look at a man like Ike Quartey, man. Ike Quartey beat fellas like De La Hoya, you know what I mean? Ike Quartey arguably even beat, what's that guy from Oxnard? What's that guy's name? Fernando Vargas, you know what I'm saying? You check it. These guys are really good fighters. It's just that they might not have the exposure like American fighters or European fighters, and they might not even have the training facilities like American fighters. Look, that building where Julius Indongo trains, man, I feel like I know that building like the back of my hand of all the videos I've seen of Julius Indongo. I think it might be a 3 or 4 story building built by this guy, Nestor Tobias, the guy with the hat on the right of him, his manager, and this guy, a lot of the best of the best from Namibia come there to train. You know what I mean? This guy's is a move. He's a mover and shaker in the boxing world in Namibia. You know what I'm saying? Especially fellas from South Africa, them parts of the world, where Namibia is, Southwest Africa. A lot of good fighters out there, man. Arguably, even South Africa might have the richest boxing history the richest boxing history ever out of Africa. You know what I mean? Ghana is up there. There's guys from Uganda who paid their dues. You know what I'm saying? But South Africa, from all the way from even like minimum weight to heavyweights, I'm sure you could find somebody who's a good fighter. But the reason I make this video is because people talking about, look, yo, if this fight actually ends up being very close, how I suspected and said in my prediction, you know what I mean? And if this fight even goes, Julius and Indongo can somehow, some way get the victory out in Nebraska, which is a long, tall task. You know what I'm saying? It's very hard, but I'm gonna keep it tall. All them fellas who talking nut ass shit about this man, Julius and Indongo. Look, opinions are everybody got opinions, right? You check it. But everybody who talking some nut ass shit about Indongo and Indongo comes out there and performs well, word to God, man. I'm on sub from fellas channels, you know what I mean? Because you're actually feeding the people garbage. You check it? Because fellas ain't making no videos talking about Terrence Crawford flaws, you know what I mean? Terrence Crawford is a guy kind of guy, when he gets hit, man, he's ready to go for the gusto. He's trying to fight back, you know what I'm saying? Terrence Crawford can get clipped too. Don't get it confused, man. And when I'm talking about Terrence Crawford, y'all fellas might think I'm a hater of Crawford. You guys don't know shit about me then. You know what I'm saying? Because Terrence Crawford is arguably my top 2 or top 3 favorite fighters in boxing. And not now. He been that dude since I've known the guy since he had dreads, you know what I'm saying? So look, I'm just keeping it fair and unbiased. Like somebody came in my comment section and said, man, you're unwaverly unbiased. And people and that's the truth, you know. Some people say on their videos, man, that's bullshit. Everybody's biased towards something. Look, everybody could be biased, but one thing about me, I ain't biased, you know what I'm saying? Because look, I have nothing, I got nothing to gain from being biased, you know what I mean? On the real, I'd rather feed people accurate, you know, information where I've done my homework rather than being biased. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, you know what I'm saying? You check it, and if I'm right, I'm right. It is what it is, you know. But nah, not everybody's biased. Some people could actually be neutral and unwaverly, you know what I'm saying? You check it, and as a man, I told y'all, look, this guy, I'm rooting for Julius and Indongo to win, because it's just, it would be remarkable if the guy wins. And the guy is from Africa just like me, so you could probably say I'm biased there. But in my prediction, I picked the man Terrence Crawford to win, to slightly win. So if I was biased, wouldn't I pick this guy Julius and Indongo? So fellas, you gotta put things in perspective and keep it tall, and stop talking some nut ass shit, you know what I mean? Because like I said, word to mother, man, if fellas if Julius and Indongo puts out a good effort and does everything, you know, people, I'm not even going to say what people are saying about this guy, you know, it's just I'm getting a lot of inclinations of resistance towards this fight, you know what I'm saying? And why is that, you know? People actually, you know, think that this guy Julius Indongo's not a good fighter because they ain't know about him. That's what they actually said, even in my comment section, you know what I mean? Like, you ain't even know this guy 6 months ago, so fucking what if I ain't know about him? I know about him now. And I've watched most of his fights, if not every fight he has up online. You know what I'm saying? And this guy's very good. This guy's a very good fighter. And we shall see, you know what I'm saying? Look, Broner is supposed to be a good fighter. I thought he'd show a better effort than what he did. You know, what he did against Mikey Garcia, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't bash the guys. I didn't bash neither guy and say these guys are some garbage. And, you know, I thought the fight would be a little closer than what AB did, you know what I mean? But all in all, Julius Indongo is a tremendous fighter. If fighters from Africa had the kind of training facilities, promotions, and just advantages like fighters do have in the United States and or UK or Europe, then believe you me, you'd see a lot of these African fighters coming over to the Western Hemisphere and or Europe and knocking fellas out, you know what I'm saying? You check it. That's just the truth, man. You know, Julius Indongo he's a fighter who's paid his dues, and he's in a position to become undisputed. Now, if fellas don't like that or say this isn't the best fight of the year, then they don't want to see the best fight the best. But I already came to that conclusion a few weeks ago, you know what I mean? When I see any inclination of resistance to the best fights being made in boxing, just like even Joshua and Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, when there's any resistance, man, to me that's just showing you don't want to see the best fight in the best, you know what I mean? And I want to see the best fight in the best because ultimately I want to know who the best is, you know what I'm saying? Fellas talking about this fight between Crawford and Indongo is not the best fight of the year, but We don't know even Julius Indongo is in a position to let us know if he's the best in the division. So it don't get no better than that, you know what I mean? And fellas, go ahead and make some videos about Terrence Crawford's flaws. Let's talk about how he keeps his chin all up in the air when he's backing up, you know what I'm saying? Let's talk about Terrence Crawford, engaging in a fight, you know what I'm saying, which also could be detrimental. He could get caught in between, you know what I'm saying, when he's just going for the gusto, you know. Let's talk about everybody's flaws rather than just pointing out Julius and Dongo's flaws. And actually, them flaws I'm seeing for people talking about, them flaws don't make no fucking sense because them flaws are not real. That's just a figment of your imagination, you know what I'm saying? Because I looked at the film study and, you're talking about a guy's flaws in a fucking fight that the guy washed the dude and won every single round and basically won every single minute. So what flaws are you talking about, really? Be Marsh Boxing, leave your thoughts and comments, and let's keep it 100 on this YouTube boxing shit. And I'm gonna check y'all on the next vid. Thanks for listening. Peace.